Hello? Hello? Bart? I'm back on. Somehow the phone hung up on the both of us, which was pretty messed up. It's funny how I was talking about showing everybody my free energy things, and then all of a sudden the phone line gets cut off. What a coincidence there. Can anyone hear me? Because I'm not sure if this shit's working. Can you hear me? Am I there? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm there, okay. Okay, good. Somebody heard me. Oh, there's Bart. Hold on, I'm coming. Oh, Bart?
Yep.
What a coincidence. We talk about free energy, giving away free energy ideas, and we're hung up on. What a coincidence. You still there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I think that was meant as an encouraging gesture.
Oh, well, thanks, guys.
Like, go for it.
Or you're either going to punk out and not go back on the air, or you don't give a shit. But anyway, Bart, I want to continue. I'm dead serious, man. What do you think?
If there's a way that, you can put the stuff on the internet where you can...
Listen. The design I sent you, you can buy 9 out of the 10 parts needed to build the machine in like a regular, electric supply store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can buy a couple of parts from an electrics, like kind of a hardware store, an all-around hardware store, and just one small piece of it needs to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Fabricated. Well, a lot of it has to be fabricated, but the basic idea of it is so simple. It really is. And this machine, that machine that I sent you, Bart, my theory on it is, once you initialize it and get it going, it's going to keep pumping out energy for a long time before it eventually burns out. And once it burns out, it's not like the machine's dead. You just start it over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one. That's just a free energy machine that people could stick in their basements. And then there's my car/vehicle one, but it's mostly for a car, something that rolls on the ground. A car, bike, motorcycle, fucking scooter, whatever. Anything that has wheels on it. And I think they're pretty good ones. They would put gas, out of business. And, and what can I say, man? Because I'm not afraid, but I'll tell you that if they put a price on my head or something like this for putting out the ideas, man, I don't give a shit.
Yep.
I really don't. I'm almost tempted to, say bring it, maybe, while you guys are fucking parked somewhere ready to shoot me, they'll have a special visit before they can do anything.
Secret Man says there are other free energy devices on the internet.
Yeah, but who's proved it? Like the one, I saw this one cool one where this guy took a 9-volt battery and powered a magnetic rotating device, and when he turned it on with the 9-volt battery, the thing spun at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. It really did. It was sick, you know. And the guy goes around having seminars, collecting people from people, and collecting money from people to build, and like taking orders for the device. But he never delivers. He just takes their money and runs. And it was like a scam. And then there's other people. I found there's a guy, right, who has a regular electric motor, like, you know, a typical electric motor that puts out electricity, right? You know, has a positive and a negative output, right? Yeah. Except this one, how it works is it puts out more energy than it takes to spin it. But the thing is it's just an electric motor. It's simply a component. It's not like an entire engine. It's basically something to retrofit. You know, like if you have something that already has an electric motor, you can retrofit it with this electric motor and put out more energy, essentially. You know? Yeah. Like supposedly more goes out than comes in. You know what I'm saying? And in the past, when I pursued my free energy thing, and I told you the story a bunch of times with that Dr. Eugene Malov guy, who I didn't know by the way, I didn't know he was like a celebrity in the UFO world, you know, I didn't know he was a whistleblower from Area 51 and shit. When I spoke to him, you know, I had no idea he was that person. And, well, I had no idea. I didn't know anybody from the field. I was lucky I knew I know who Stephen Greer is now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I talked to this guy, you know, he was just, his main focus was, you know, does it put out more energy than it takes in, you know? And I personally think my one engine, definitely yes. I definitely think so, yes. But I don't know, man. He tried to say, you know, like he tried to, like, I don't know. He didn't exactly say it wouldn't work. He just kept saying, you know, give up. You know what I'm saying? And then he died mysteriously like a month later. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But it's just, you know, thank goodness I was working at the IRS and, you know.
Working for the man.
Yeah. But I'm more, I thank goodness more because, you know, there's a recording of me on the cameras every single day. There's a picture of Renato walking through the hallways every single day of the week. You know what I'm saying? And you know they got that shit at the IRS because, you know, I started working there after September 11th when you know, when security was fucking extremely tightened up at all federal buildings. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when I was working at the IRS, I told you, man, I saw a guy who looked exactly like me with the long hair and the goatee, and he was wearing an old jacket that I lost like years ago. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, that looks like my old jacket from like fucking 10 years ago, you know? But it wasn't like, it was like a regular average person's jacket. It wasn't really like a rocker jacket, you know, like a denim jacket or a leather jacket or anything like that. It was like I don't know, it looked like a typical just winter coat, you know what I'm saying? Up to the waist. And the guy fucking doesn't want me to see him. He hides behind the pole. And Mayor Giuliani walks by me and he's got this big, like, happy smile on his face, and he says, and I just waved hi to him, and he just said hi, like, I guess he did like a little gesture, you know, like hi, you know, and that was it. And I mean, that's not a big deal, you know, walking by the mayor of New York City in the middle of New York City, but the guy hiding behind the pole that didn't want me to see him, that I saw him clear as day, he happens to look just like how I used to look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's have our anniversary talk, Bart, like you wanted to do.
Oh, all right.
Remember you said you wanted to go over the first story that we ever did, the clone story? Would you like to recap on that tonight, Bart?
Yeah, we can do that. Oh, let's bring in some guest stars, too.
What?
Some guest stars.
The guest stars?
All right, I'm looking. Well, because it's like our 1 year anniversary show. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. My mind wasn't with you on that one. I was more going over. While you were saying that, I was just going over in my brain the whole clone story.
Oh, I know it pretty well.
The significance of the clone story to me is basically the night that I encountered the clone is the night that I was, I was brought back up to speed. I guess, as other people would put it, I was debriefed. That would be the night that I was picked up, and I alone. But the thing is, basically, the story is that the secret government, whoever these people are, I don't know if they were secret government, if they were fucking aliens, I don't know what, but they built a fucking duplicate clone of me. Like, they built an exact copy of me. And it wasn't perfect because there was definitely differences. It was like a natural twin. You know how like people that are born twins, they look exactly the same, but if you look really close, they have little differences between them. And like I said in my first story, the one most outstanding thing was the nose. The nose, it looked like he broke his nose or something like that, harder than I did,
Yeah.
And basically what happens is somehow they were able to copy all my memories up until a certain age, an age that I'm way beyond now. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say theoretically right now I'm like, I don't know, let's say fucking, for a round number, let's say I'm 80 years old. They had my memories up until I was like 25 or something, you know what I'm saying? And what they did was the clone wakes up in their facility underground, and like, it was like being in a building, except in a building underground where there's no windows in the rooms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it definitely had the vibe of a government facility, you know what I'm saying? With people walking around with lab coats and people with military uniforms and people with regular clothes on and so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying? And basically they're trying to convince the clone that he's really me, and he works for them, and his assignment is to kill his clone, which would be me. If you follow, are you following me? Was that clear?
Yeah. He thinks you're his
like, in other words, yeah, exactly. And basically they tried to like show him, like, believe it or not, our radio interviews. But instead of showing him everything, they were only showing him little bits and pieces of things that would paint an evil picture of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, instead of letting him hear the whole thing through and through, they only gave him little smidgens and tidbits of one sentence here and one sentence there. Like, you know how like they edit those George Bush videos where he says terrorism like a million times in a row, like they'll show a speech and just cut out every time he says terrorism and make them back to back. They do something along those lines, but not as, but not so media style. More like they just show them the one little clip you know, of me saying something crazy, you know, or like, you know what I'm saying? They take little snippets and turn it and flip it around and make it evil.
Yeah.
So they sit there and basically wake him up and almost give him, I don't know, he's awake for like maybe a couple of weeks, and they won't let him out of the facility. They make him stay in there. And finally, he starts getting the feeling that they're lying to him. And I think he overhears a conversation or something to that effect of the people who were like watching him, you know, the guys that were assigned to watch him, you know, and it was like a military feel, like they were the two, like, you know, officers, but they tried to play it off like they were his partners and shit, but meanwhile they were really his watchdogs.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they basically set it up for him to go kill me on Staten Island. And it's supposed to be this night where I go to like a concert. I go to either a show at a club, you know, a heavy metal show, or I don't know what kind of show. And my brother's there and my friend Vinny are there, right? And the clone call, they make the clone take the train, public transportation, somewhere in New York City, either Long Island, I think it was, right? Well, I pretty much believe it was in Long Island, but, you know, but they make the clone take the train into the city. He gets to the city, gets to the Staten Island Ferry, he calls my brother, and asks my brother to come pick him up. And then my brother comes and picks him up on the Staten Island side of the ferry, and like I told you, it changed. The story's changed because originally it was my brother in his truck, and my brother no longer has that truck. So that's changed already. So this story could be totally gone, you know what I'm saying? But this is the one I have part. But anyway, my brother comes and picks him up, and he takes him to meet me at a place I will not disclose because it hasn't happened yet, and I'm not putting out anything out there to give anybody. I'm not telling anybody where it goes down. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they make arrangements for me to meet my brother, and this clone is like very suspicious. You know, he doesn't know who to believe. He doesn't know. You know, they already tried to brainwash him that the fake me is, you know, took his place. You know what I'm saying? Like the me right now that you're talking to, they try to tell his clone that I'm living his life, that I stole his life from him. So he basically wants to come kill me and take his life back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of deal. You know, like the fucking movies, man. And my brother, I believe, calls me, the me now that you're talking to, and says, all right, he says, Renato, guess what? I'm with you. I'm with the 18-year-old you right now, and and I just picked the 18-year-old up you from the ferry or a conversation like, yeah, I got him now. He's here, you know, kind of deal, you know, like he's on his cell phone talking to me, who you're talking to, while the clone's sitting next to him in his car or truck or whatever, right? So then they get to the spot, and I think my brother calls my friend Vinny, which is both me and my brother's friend, and asks Vinny to come too, you know, just in case any craziness goes down, or just to be a witness, just to say he was there, you know, just another witness, basically, another person to say they witnessed a clone or whatever. And basically, they go to this place, and it's just the three of them, and they're sitting there talking about whatever, you know, and the clone is basically talking to my brother mostly about family affairs that he missed out on. Like, so what happened with mom, and what's up with dad, and what's up with everybody in the family, like what's going on with each person, you know? Like he was trying to get updates from my brother. And basically the three of them are sitting there waiting for me to arrive, you know, me who you're talking to now.
Yeah.
And basically while they're waiting for me to show up, somewhere along the lines, the another me comes who is younger than the me now, but older than the clone. If that's not complicated enough. And he basically comes, and he doesn't say more than like 2 words to the clone. Like he just basically announces his presence and says, "Hello, I'm here," and then he uses some device and basically deteriorates the whole clone into like nothingness. But before he does it, he basically takes all the clone's memories and copies them before he disintegrates it, basically, into dust. And then from what I understand, the younger me, the younger than me now, took those memories that he copied off the clone and stuck them in his own brain. So they essentially became my memories. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Like, in other words, I remember the episode as if it was my experience. Do you follow me?
Yeah, he just took the clone's memories and put them in your head so you could experience them.
Yeah, exactly. So, like when I see them in my head, I see them from his eyes. And I hear them from his ears. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But don't get the wrong idea, all right? I'm not the clone. I'm Renato. God damn it.
You are.
And anyway, he disintegrates the clone, and then the guy who comes and disintegrates the clone, while they're still waiting for me to come, he sits down and starts hanging with my brother and Vinny, and he sits down and tells them the truth. He gives them both lotto tickets, and I finally arrive, right? And basically, I ask him if he's got a lotto ticket for me, and he just toys with me the whole time and finally gives it to me, like, later on. And then, even though he gives me the lotto ticket, it doesn't matter because I go with him up to reacquaint myself with the posse. And then shortly thereafter, Bart, I believe you're picked up. Or I don't know how you want to put it. You're not picked up. Well, I guess you could say picked up in the sense of like a car.
I'm retrieved.
Yeah. You scooped. You scooped.
Indiana Joe.
Yeah, what's up, Indiana Joe? Oh, Indiana Joe says it's impossible to travel in time, unfortunately. Well, thank you, Indiana Joe. I didn't know a scientific expert was here. Nah, I don't care, man. It's no big deal. You know, everybody has their right. You know, who knows, man? I could be crazy. This could all be my own flights of fancy in my own mind. But hey, man, I found too many corroborations to think otherwise at this point, my friend. It's not every day where you say X, Y, and Z is going to happen and then it fucking happens. And I don't think I'm some kind of biblical prophet. I don't think it has anything to do with religion. Well, Indiana Joe, thank you for saying you don't think I'm crazy. I appreciate that. But what makes you think it's impossible? What makes you think it's impossible to travel time? What gives you the rock hard? UFOs are demonic? Alrighty then.
Right, you know.
Well, thank you. Nah, you know, it's one thing I noticed in the books I was reading. They all say that everyone is aware of their duality. They know they have these demons inside of them, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That there's a good and bad side. And they're aware of it. They just got it in check. You know what I'm saying? But shit, man. Well, Indiana Joe, not many people are going to agree with you here today, my friend. Yes, you are crazy. I'm crazy too. I didn't say I wasn't. In part, I know you don't think you're crazy, but you are too.
I'm half crazy. I'm half crazy.
Yeah. You are. You are. But hey, man, it's cool.
I have to take David Wilcock's argument to Indiana Joe and just say there's a great likelihood that one of these craft is of extraterrestrial origin, which means that there's the possibility that there's a lot more than just one craft, you know.
Yeah, but that's not the real message, Bart. The real message is peace and love, Indiana Joe. Love conquers all, Indiana Joe. Who gives a shit about the UFOs? Who cares about the time travel? What we really need to care about is how we can enlighten each other as brothers and sisters of Earth and make the world a better place so we could truly be free and set ourselves free, deliver ourselves from the false freedom we live in now. Do you agree with me, Bart? I think Bart would have put it more eloquently. I think Bart would have put it across much nicer than me, though. See, the reason why I'm here is because I've had somebody come to me since I was a child and tell me that they're me from the future. And it's happened about, I don't know, maybe around 20 times throughout my life. So, and basically I've been searching for ways to prove them, or for the people who can prove them, who could at least stand by and say, hey, that's true what happened. And I've found quite a bit. I've also made a bunch of, I don't know what you call them, Bart. I mean, they're not really predictions. What can we say they are?
You said they were prophecies, but I would say they're visions, they're foresights.
Yeah. I've had a bunch of foresight that things that I think are going to happen or they have happened and it's coming true, and I've been just with my gut instincts, like, for example, I think that they're trying to stage a war between China and the U.S. on purpose, you know, so they can make more money, cut out some population size, shit like that, you know. My two main predictions, as I've said in the past, is there's going to be a concert event which introduces us to the ET reality in a very subtle way, which gives plenty of people room to say whether they believe it or not. But then, if there's ever the threat of a nuclear war happening on our planet, I believe with my heart of hearts that there's going to be a mass landing of sorts. There's going to be, our sky is going to fill with craft from another planet or another time. And, you know, and that's the main story, man. That's the main deal. That's the main reason why I'm here. All the other stuff is significant, but nowhere near as much as those two things to me, you know. And I hooked up with one of the wisest people I know, and his name is Bart.
Go on.
Bart's, I went around trying to find people who would interview me or ask me questions just to jog my memory, and Bart was the only person who took on the job.
Well, that was nice of him.
And then Cyberwasp has been with us since the beginning, and an ATS guy, and Win 52. Those three figures are very important to the thread.
Nope.
Listen, man. Nobody's got to convince Indiana Joe of anything.
Yeah.
Don't tell him what he should believe, man. He can believe whatever he wants. You know. And that's the bottom line. You know. Don't tell him what to believe. Let him believe what he wants. But all I can say for you, Indiana Joe, or anybody like you, is make sure you do your research. Make sure you seek the truth. If you're the type of person that just turns on the TV and lets it tell you what reality is, then, you know what I'm saying? You have to discern all information for yourself. I mean, how often do you watch the news and think to yourself, this is real, or this is the truth, or this is 100% legit? You know, every other never, man. You know, and you walk around life and you see other people trying to control other people on every level of our society, you know. People trying to direct you and tell you where to go and all this, just walking around in public. Don't run, don't walk, stop, go. But that's it. All I can say to you, Indiana Joe, is seek the truth and know thyself. That's it. Yep. Free speech and free life. Autonomy. Autonomy means that you govern yourself. Be autonomous, my friend. That's it. You know, don't let religion is such a scam. Watch the Zeitgeist movie. Let me see if I can throw up a link. I think that's how you spell it. Zeitgeist.
Actually, I'll throw a paradox at Indiana Joe and say he says he believes there's truth and everything else is wrong, but there's even truth in falseness. There's even truth in stuff that's wrong. There's even a truth in stuff that can be found in stuff that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've from all the information I've looked at, I flip-flopped with the Bible so many times that I don't know what to, since I'm confused about it, I'm just totally disregarding it now. Like, I'm just making believe it's not even there. You know. Do you believe in absolutes? So what's he means by absolute? Absolutely. What's he mean by that? Or enlighten me?
I think he means that I think he means I'm talking about absolute truth, like there is nothing but truth. I'm just guessing.
Oh, well, I don't. Right now, I don't believe. I believe there are very few absolute truths on this earth. You know. I mean.
Oh, absolute right and wrong, he said.
Well, yeah, I agree. There's things that are in your face that you just don't want to believe, and it is the truth, but you just don't want to believe it is the truth. And then there's things that you think are the truth that just aren't. And then there's shit that you just know is bullshit, straight up, you know? Like when you watch the news every day, you know half of it's bullshit. You know what? I just want to throw that out. I haven't watched the news. in a long time. I read the New York Post the other day in the deli because it was on the counter while I was waiting for a sandwich. And man, I flipped through that thing. I can't even, I can't even put I couldn't even put together how the hell they come up with this shit or where they're coming from when they write it. To me, it's all about making the money. It's all about selling papers. It's not about giving the news. It's about how much money they can make off selling papers, and how much money they can make off putting commercials on their hard-hitting news channel, The sponsors, make the sponsors happy. Yay. So, do you know that you absolutely exist? Well, no, I don't. For all we know, we could be living in the freaking Matrix. We don't know that. We could be a goddamn Sims game for all we know. But we don't. But you know what? It's the one thing that's the most real to me, Bart.
What's that?
How I feel. If there's one thing I cannot deny, that I can't lie to myself, which is a know thyself thing, is I cannot lie to myself about how I feel. If something makes me sad and brings tears to my eyes, that's a truth. That's an absolute for me. You know what I'm saying? If something makes me happy and puts an ear-to-ear, joyful smile on my face and makes me truly feel happy on the inside, then that's about as real as it gets for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you exist.
Exactly.
Right.
So if there's any truth, that's it for me, man. Is I know how the hell I feel, and and ever since I've started talking to you, Bart, let me tell you, I've been practicing. Remember how in the beginning I used to say, if concerning people, how they say that the secret government or aliens or whoever the fuck can tap into your brain and project thoughts into your mind.
Yeah.
With the theory of that being a possibility, I've always thought to myself, whenever some crazy random thought pops into my head that doesn't make sense, I'm always on the defense thinking, why am I thinking that? What brought that thought into my mind? Because I guess the difference is it wasn't a feeling, it was just a thought. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between thinking you want to kill somebody and feeling like you want to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A good example is a guy arguing with his girlfriend, where they're going around in circles and nothing's getting resolved and they're just going back and forth on the same bullshit. Then I'm sorry. Have a good night, C. Kemp, something.
620-597.
But anyway, man, that threw me off. What was I saying now?
Uh-oh. Well, Cyber's got to get going, too.
Oh, okay. Have a good night, cool. Cyberboss. Thanks for coming, bro. Don't be sorry, Cyber. You too, C. Kemp. Have a great have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
If you celebrate that down there, or wherever you are.
Well, whatever. Happy Holidays. Yeah, this year, man, I made my holiday minimal as far as gathering of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be next year in a minute. It's gonna be the year 2008 in yep, in a half a second.
But they Cyber rudely interrupted. What was it you were saying?
I forgot. Sorry.
I was reading that.
The show again.
You want to just wait, rewind it, and we'll wait for you.
Yeah. No. We can move
there's a lot
on.
of weird stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff that I'm reading, like especially at actually at the two sites, at Godlike and at ATS. People are seeing flashes in the sky, and they're seeing beams of light going straight up into the sky. They're seeing bright objects moving back and forth up in the night sky.
Well, the beams of light, if they're in their car driving, sometimes if something reflects the right way on your windshield, it looks like a beam of light. So, because a lot of times that happens to me, you know what I'm saying? Like if you drive down a road that has oh my God, light posts. You know, if you drive down a highway that has those big orange lights, I forget what they're called, halogen lights, or no, that's not what they're called. But if you drive down a road that has those big orange lights, if you look at your windshield, sometimes if it's like nice and shiny, it looks like each light is beaming directly onto your windshield. Anybody ever notice that?
When you're from other cars?
Yeah, and even from other cars, it looks like there's a beam going straight up into the sky, sort of. I don't know. I'm just saying that's a possibility because, you know. But what you're saying is people seeing flashes in the sky. I've been noticing that for the past, I don't know, month or so. But the thing is like in my own brain, I'm not impressed. You know, like in the sense of like, let's say, you ever watched the Forrest Gump movie?
Yeah.
You ever watch Forrest Gump? You ever see the part where they go out shrimping?
Shrimping, yeah.
And you know when they get caught up in the storm, and Forrest Gump's psychotic captain starts challenging God on the top of I think it's called a mast. You know, the pole that holds up the sail.
Yeah. Yeah, the mast.
Where he's like challenging God, saying, "Bring it on!" Like that's how I feel like I'm saying. I'm like, don't give me no little flashlight, man. Give me something better than that. You know. But I've been seeing them, bro. I've been seeing blue ones, bright blue ones. I've been seeing white. The thing is, you know, it usually happens when there's clouds around. Only one night I saw it without clouds, that I can remember anyway. And one night I saw this sick line of smoke that went straight up and down and not side to side. And I just don't know if it was the angle I was looking at it that made it look that way. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it was directly overhead, but it looked pretty wild because it was in the nighttime nonetheless. And what was illuminating the smoke was the moonlight because it was a full moon, and the smoke stream was going. It looked to me like it was going straight up and down. You know, like straight up towards space and not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the person that I'm talking about who saw this one particular beam of light was actually here in Northern Virginia, just outside D.C., and they said that they saw this. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and they saw this beam of light go from the ground straight up into the clouds.
Say it again?
This person said they saw this beam of light. Are you watching the chat board?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, people are just saying seeing strange things. I'm just saying, you know.
Hell yeah! You know, the other day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I saw fucking 2 days ago. I saw a plane, go by It was the fastest plane I've seen yet go over my house, and it was silent. And it zipped overhead, like, and it looked like it was actually flying higher than the commercial planes. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a jet. It looked like a commercial plane. It looked like a, like a 727 or something, but it was much higher than I would usually see them, and it went across the sky much faster than they normally do. And it was pretty noiseless. And that was like literally the other day.
Yeah. I think there's stuff going on out there. I've seen weird stuff in my neighborhood. Just even if it's just military, it's just weird. But it's going on over populated areas here. And
well, shit, man. In the last year alone, we've had a record number of UFO sightings. I mean, what's this site that we were monitoring for a while? UFO, not UFOsightings.com. It's a pretty big one. I think UFO Reports. Like
UFO Casebook?
Yeah, there you go. UFO Casebook. I remember there was like a new sighting almost every day for like the last year. You know? Like literally. You know, if you go to their site, like it wasn't always a picture though. It was mostly just people throwing in texts, giving their little paragraph worth of a story. But I don't know, man. I think that something is coming to light. You know. I'm gonna my computer was running out of battery, so I just put it back on the charger. But I'm not looking at the chat board anymore. Just so you know, okay?
All right.
So if anybody calls in, you better tell me, because I won't know.
All right, I'll let you know.
What time is it?
11:37.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to talk about, Barb?
Just that it's I had a UFO dream like last night or night before.
Oh, yeah.
Did
Go
you
on.
too?
Say it again?
Did you
Hello?
also?
Dude, I've been having dreams like crazy about UFOs and I guess people. I've been having all sorts of crazy dreams the past, few weeks. They're either UFOs or meeting with different people that I don't really know.
Yeah.
And things that I hardly remember. It's weird. I've been remembering my dreams in the morning, but eventually I'll forget them because I'm worried about getting to work on time and shit, you know? Well, not this week maybe, but before that. But shit, man. I've been having a lot of dreams, Bart. I have. And I've been remembering them in the morning. Just weird situations, you know, one dream I had, I was in a futuristic place, but I was surrounded by people I didn't trust. I didn't feel like I was in a trustworthy environment. And then I've had dreams that I was just on the ground, just hanging out, kind of, and UFOs started appearing and shit, you know. And just stuff like that. And then I had this one dream that I was on this weird base that it was set up like imagine taking an elevator shaft and putting it up against in those putting it up against a rock formation, what do you call them? Like those big peaks? Like a cliff. Imagine putting like an elevator shaft on the side of a cliff, but instead of it being an elevator shaft, it's actually like a huge building, but it's attached to the cliff. Like the cliff, it's like bolted into the cliff to keep it, to support it. Can you picture that?
Okay, yeah.
And it was like this sick, futuristic, like base, and it was like on a moon. And at first it started off like everything was cool and everybody was doing their like job, I guess. But then like towards the end of the dream, it started becoming like a mutinous atmosphere where everybody started becoming every man for themselves and wanting to kill each other and chasing each other and stuff. It turned into a nightmare of a dream, you know. But it's weird, like, you know, I realize in a lot of my nightmarish dreams, I seem to handle myself where I'm not so, like, it's almost like they're trying to terrorize me, but I more react like, you know, oh shit. You know, I can't explain it. Like, instead of me being like, oh my God, I'm going to die right now, it's more like, oh shit, take cover, duck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Time to move, time to go. I don't know, man, but you know. Do I feel what?
I was going to say, do you just feel, like, different at all, like the last 2 or 3 weeks? I mean, have you noticed just being sort of lightheaded at all, or?
Yes, I've been getting dizzy at my desk at work. Like I'd just be sitting there perfectly normal, like, you know, I didn't move or get up too quick or anything like that, and I just get dizzy for a second, and it happened twice.
Yeah. Okay, it's just, yeah.
I've been waking up extremely tired on certain days where I don't even know how the hell I got up to begin with. You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been feeling a little weird.
I've been having these dizzy spells too.
Yeah, it's
pretty
like
weird.
But it's not like I'm gonna pass out. It's just like I lose my equilibrium for a second, you know?
Yeah.
It's like my whole world turns like on an angle for a second. But the thing is, what makes it weird, this isn't, you know, it only happened for the first time a few weeks ago, literally. Never happened before that I can remember in my life. But see, what's weird part is all these little fucking things that happen to me, I guess I suck at not really, like, noticing them or taking too much note to them. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you brought up flashes in the sky,
yeah,
like I thought to myself, I was like, I've been seeing them quite a bit, you know, but I don't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there's got to be some rational explanation. I still jump to those kinds of conclusions where, but like for example, tonight I saw lights pierce through the clouds, and then it really was a plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at first I was like, wait, is that a UFO? And then, you know, it was a plane. I was like, shit, you know? Because, man, I'm on the lookout. Every time I'm outside, I gaze at the sky for at least a minute. And ever since we took all those pictures with the black dot window at the sky.
Yeah.
I'm officially a sky watcher.
You really should be watching it a lot lately.
Well, but I don't know, man. can't say I'm not let down. Nothing happened this year, because I was kind of hoping something would happen this year. For me, anyway. And you, maybe.
The year's not over yet.
We got like 3 days left. We got, what, 2 weeks left of the year?
We got a couple weeks, yeah.
2 weeks and some change?
I wouldn't necessarily use our calendar as a marker for, a deadline for certain events to pass, because, it's all basically like a natural organic process. It doesn't have anything to do with the year clicking over to 2008. It's all a process that's undergoing changes now,
Definitely. Well,
it doesn't have anything to do. It doesn't have anything to do with the calendar year 2007.
Yeah. I do notice that a lot of people these days seem to be opening up to the idea of there being life existing on other planets, and it does seem like more and more people are opening up to it. And even if not, at least they're going along with the crowd, At least if they're going to be sheep, at least they're sheeping with the UFO people. You know what I'm saying? But it does seem like a lot of people are opening up, and it does seem like a lot of people are more openly accepting the possibility of clairvoyance, and these things that are considered taboo and supernatural and all that, I mean, there's so many people in our life that they sense things are going to happen before they happen, but after it's all said and done and everything goes down, they don't think back and look at it as like a supernatural thing. It's just, they had a gut feeling, you know what I'm saying? And that's like the bottom line for them. They don't like really overanalyze it and say, hey, maybe there is this hidden ability in our mind or whatever for these types of things, And people ultimately convince themselves that that's not true and that's not real, and that's because somebody else told them they should believe that. And, it's obviously not the way to go. But anyway, but yeah, man, I'm glad we covered that website with all those different stories, because, I mean, I just learned about that website like the day or two before I posted it on the AboveTopSecret.com thread, and and I mean, if you look back at the year of documentation me and you have done, I mean, half the shit I said, it's there in those books. And I swear I never read those books until the other day.
Yeah.
I swear, man. Like, all the things that I'm saying that our planet is, that there's a strong possibility for things, the big changes that are going to happen to our planet. All these books are describing that their planet already runs the way I say our planet is going to run in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they've already, in these books, these ETs already accomplished it. They already reached that level, and they're trying to guide us closer to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least that's what they try to come across with in the book, And
goodbye.